Okay? Do you remember, maybe you guys don't, maybe it was a different class. Do you remember the one rule of resume that you never break? Did I discuss that? Okay, how many pages does a resume have to be? What's the maximum length to a resume? Anybody? Dylan, what do you think? How long should a resume be on average? Say you're Dylan Thrower. You're 50 years old. You have become a successful salesman and you're a multimillionaire. How long is your resume going to be? Yeah, pretty long. How many pages do you think? 10? Okay, the rule with the resume is it never exceeds 1 page. Okay? A resume is never longer than a page. And the reason why is that who is looking at your resume? It's going to be some guy in a dark, dank HR room with a stack of 100 resumes, right? How long do you think he's going to look at each resume? Probably 10 to 15 seconds. Okay? That's all he's going to do is just look at your resume and go, oh, okay, and put it aside. And then he's going to have 2 stacks. He's going to have the good stack and the bad stack. And 80 to 85% are going to go to the bad stack. 15 to 10 or 20% are going to go to the good stack. And those 15 to 20% are going to get what? The offer for the job? No. What are they going to get?
Fired.
No, because they're looking for a job.
You're gonna get hired.
No, you're not going to get hired.
Denied the job.
You're going to get what? Whenever you get a job, what do they do after you turn in your application?
Examine it.
Okay, they examine it, and then what do? They call you up for a what? An interview. So a resume, the purpose of a resume is only to get you an interview. That's it. It's not to get you a job. It won't get you a job. It's there to get you an interview, and the interview and the handshake at the end, that's what gets you the job. So, that's really important to know. If you look at these, most of these have 4 sections. And those are pretty good. You got your name, imagine that. What your title is, you can delete it. Your address, you can use a fake one. You okay? You better be careful, a fly's going to go in your mouth. Okay? So you got your skills. Your skills are really important. This is going to be used in your cover letter. These are the skills appropriate to the job you are applying for. So for me, I have several different resumes. I've got one for education, I've got one for teaching college, and I've got one for translation, right? And because those are 3 totally different, unrelated skills. And so you're going to match it with the job that you're looking for. Your experience here, if you only had one job, go ahead and delete these and put that there. Okay? Job, so Gabby, have you ever babysat? Okay, that's considered a job. Have you ever done volunteer?
I worked at Old Navy.
You worked at Old Navy?
I still work.
Okay, well then there's another job.
As a flex.
If you ever have done volunteer work, that can be considered experience. Okay, so don't think like, oh, I have to have a job to put in experience. There's usually always something you can put in there as a mid to late teenager or mid-teenager. Okay? Your education. Of course, where are you going to school right now? Indiana High School. And you've got your degree, which is high school degree. You'll put the when you started, and then you delete this. See this right here, everybody? Look up here. Gabby, look up here. Gabby, look up here. We're going to delete this. Okay? Or you could put this June 2023, is it for you guys? Right, you can put that as well. And that works for colleges also. So here's the important part. So with high school, well, I'll explain this in a second. So with high school, you're gonna put like what kind of things you study. Okay, like you could say, currently studying English 2, pottery, animal science, and Fruit Loops. Yeah, you can.
I would do it.
And then your awards. This one you can delete if you've never won an award in your life, but most of you have at least won a participation award. So like whatever you got in your life, go ahead and put it there. Like for me, I can say this, right? Academic challenge team won South Carolina championship. Twice. Yeah. Okay. So, the one last thing I'm going to do before you guys start with your resume is these things called action verbs. Okay? How do you talk about what work you've done? Well, what's very important is you use action verbs. So, how many of you have a job right now? Okay, so Gabby, what are 3 things you do at your job?
Okay, I have to do this thing called run closers, where you get clothes from the back and put it out on the floor.
Okay, so let's look at this and turn it kind of romantically into like a more complex term than that. So we're going to say manages
Sales floor.
sales floor and places product. And you can go like really cheesy with this in strategically appropriate places, whatever. Okay, Gabby, what's number 2? What do you do?
Register.
You do register. So manages cash register and interacts with customers. Okay, Gabby, what's one more thing you do?
Okay, we have this thing called Vocus, online orders. So,
Okay. Responsible for online order, let's say retrieval. Okay? And so we've got these action verbs there. So manages, we don't want to use twice. So what's another word for manage? Well, let's go find manage, synonym. Let's see, supervises. There we go. I'll say operates. That's a better one. Operates cash register and interacts with customers. Why don't we put I in here? Because it's obvious. You don't need to, like the reader is not going to need to know I operate cash. So we just put the verb there. The most important thing that you know about a resume before I close is there cannot be any grammatical or punctuation or capitalization errors in your resume, because when that person's looking over your resume, if they see an error on it, they're going to throw it out immediately, okay? Because it shows lack of responsibility and lack of care, okay? So it's really good when you're done with your resume to take it to someone, have them look at it. And ever since I've been teaching this, people will use these resumes and they'll take them and give them to like McDonald's or whatever with their application. And the people at McDonald's are like, what? Wow, you like actually have a resume and you're 15 or 16? And people will be impressed by it. When you get into it later, you just kind of add more and more as you go along in life. But you always want to stick to one page. I mean, I've worked at least jobs. And I only have one page. That's it. So that's the big hard and fast law is if you've got a staple on your resume, they're not gonna accept it. Okay, so what I'd like you guys to do is open up your own resume and start, and I'm gonna assign it